Imagine arriving at a beautiful sacred site, eager to explore, only to realize you might be inadvertently disrespecting local customs. It happens more often than you think, especially with something as simple as a head covering. When considering head coverings for temples and churches, the primary difference lies in the specific religious traditions and their varying interpretations of modesty and reverence. Generally, some temples, especially those following certain Hindu or Sikh traditions, may requiring head coverings for both men and women. Many Christian churches often expect women to cover their heads as a sign of respect, though this practice has become less common in some denominations. The requirement for head coverings in religious sites stems from diverse theological and cultural reasons. For instance, in many Sikh gurdwaras, covering one's head, known as wearing a rumal or a turban, is a sign of respect for the Guru Granth Sahib, their holy scripture. It also acknowledges the equality of all people before God. In Hindu temples, the practice can vary significantly by region and specific deity. Generally, covering the head is a gesture of humility and devotion, symbolizing the surrender of the ego to the divine. For women, it can also be a sign of modesty. In Christian churches, particularly historically and in some Eastern Orthodox or traditional Catholic communities, a woman covering her head with a mantilla or veil was rooted in scriptural interpretations regarding modesty, humility, and submission during worship. This often referenced passages from 1 Corinthians. However, this practice has largely diminished in many Protestant and contemporary Catholic churches, while still being upheld in more traditional or conservative settings. Men typically do not cover their heads in Christian churches, except in some very specific instances, such as Jewish men in synagogues. That is a different religious context. To navigate these differences respectfully, always research the specific site you plan to visit beforehand. Look for information on their official website or reliable travel guides. If you are unsure, pack a lightweight scarf that can easily be used as a head covering. When entering, observe what others are doing. If you see people covering their heads, follow suit. It is always better to be prepared and show respect than to inadvertently cause offense. An interesting detail is that in some temple traditions, the act of covering the head is not just about modesty but also about protecting one's energy or focus during spiritual practice. Also, remember that while head coverings might be optional in some places, modest dress in general, covering shoulders and knees, is almost universally expected in religious sites worldwide. Understanding these nuances of head coverings for temples and churches allows you to travel with greater confidence and cultural sensitivity. This ensures your visits to sacred places are respectful and enriching experiences for everyone involved.